Today I'm covering the section in Chapter 3 called Miracles as True Perception. I have stated that the basic concepts referred to in this course are not matters of degree. Certain fundamental concepts cannot be understood in terms of opposites. It is impossible to conceive of light and darkness or everything and nothing as joint possibilities. They are all true or all false. It is essential that you realize your thinking will be erratic until a firm commitment to one or the other is made. A firm commitment to darkness or nothingness. All right, so right away he's telling us we only have two choices, love or fear, right-minded thinking or wrong-minded thinking, truth or illusion. That's it. We have those two choices. And he's saying they cannot coexist. You have to choose one or the other. Then he is telling us no one has ever lived who has not experienced some light and something. No one, therefore, is able to deny truth totally, even if he thinks he can. Okay, so that might seem a little contradictory because first he's telling us you only have two choices. It's this or that. But then he's telling us if you choose darkness, if you choose illusion, if you choose what is not true, the good news is you cannot totally choose that. You cannot lose the truth. There is no way to do that. So even if our mind chooses darkness, which we are all doing because we appear to be here. So even when we make that choice, which lands us in this illusory world, because we are running away from our truth, even when we do that, we can never make truth go away entirely. There will always be some light that we experience. So that's the great news. So no matter how hard we try, we are never able to deny the truth entirely. It's just not possible. Innocence is not a partial attribute. It's not real until it is total. The partly innocent are apt to be quite foolish at times. Okay, so that's all of us. This foolishness that he is talking about is our ego self. Okay, and as long as we are confused and we don't know our truth, and we are not accepting innocence for ourselves and for everyone else, which is what he means by in totality, right? We have to see it everywhere because there's only one of us. So as long as we don't know that truth, our behavior will be erratic because we will be confused as to who we are and who everyone else is. And that's why we act foolishly when we appear to be here in the illusion. It is not until their innocence becomes a viewpoint with universal application that it becomes wisdom. Meaning, until we practice forgiveness and we know that everyone is innocent. That is what he means by universal application. When we know that everyone and everything is truly innocent. Innocent or true perception means that you never misperceive and always see truly. More simply, it means that you never see what does not exist and always see what does, which is another way of saying overlooking the world of form, which does not exist, to see the truth of the spirit that's there. That is the truth. That is what really exists. When you lack confidence in what someone will do, you are attesting to your belief that he is not in his right mind. This is hardly a miracle-based frame of reference, right? It's the opposite of a miracle-based frame of reference. It's an accusatory projection judgment, an ego frame of reference. It also has the disastrous effect of denying the power of the miracle. Okay, so when we focus on illusion, when we project, when we judge, we are denying the power of the miracle. The miracle perceives everything as it is, okay, which is innocence. If nothing but the truth exists, right-minded seeing cannot see anything but perfection. So when we see truly and we see correctly, we will only see perfect innocence. I have said that only what God creates or what you create with the same will have any real existence. Okay, so God created us just like God. The only way that we can truly create is when we are creating with God's will, because only things that are of God, of truth, really exists. This then is all the innocent can see. They do not suffer from distorted perception. So when we are awakened and we see correctly, we are not suffering from distorted perception. We see truly. We don't believe in the illusion. We no longer project and judge. Instead, we see perfection because we are seeing with our right-minded perception. We are seeing truth. You are afraid of God's will because you have used your own mind, which he created in the likeness of his own, to miscreate. So again, Jesus is making a little joke and explaining to us that you were given all these powers, just like God. You have a desire to create just like God, but then you used it to miscreate, is what he's explaining to us. The mind can miscreate only when it believes it is not free. Okay? So he's trying to explain to us that we have a choice. We don't know that we have a choice. We have been so tricked by the ego thought system that we think we're trapped in it and that there's no other way to perceive. That's what this course is for. It's to show us that there is another way, that we can make a different choice and we can perceive differently. We can perceive correctly, and we are free to do so. We are free to choose that, is what he's explaining to us. An imprisoned mind is not free because it is possessed or held back by itself. Okay, that's the ego thought system he's telling us about. It is therefore limited, and the will is not free to assert itself. To be one is to be of one mind or will. When the will of the sonship and the Father are one, their perfect accord is heaven. All beautiful fancy words to tell us that when we see correctly and we are using our correct perception, that we will know and experience the oneness that we all are with one another and with God. And this state of oneness is called heaven in this book. Nothing can prevail against a son of God who commends his spirit into the hands of his Father. By doing this, the mind awakens from its sleep and remembers its creator. Okay, so we only need to give our mind over to God. And Holy Spirit is the voice for God within this illusory world. So when we give our mind over to Holy Spirit, that is what allows our mind to be freed from the prison of the ego thought system. All sense of separation disappears when we do this. The Son of God is part of the Holy Trinity, but the Trinity itself is one. There is no confusion within its levels because they are of one mind and one will. All right, so within our illusion, we have made up this thing called the Holy Trinity, and they are just characters to help us wake up out of this mistaken nightmare dream that we're having. In truth, it's saying there's no levels, there's no 3 different parts to the Holy Trinity. They're all one. It's all one. We are all one. But while we are here having this dream of separation, we have separated out these 3 different characters to help us wake up, to remember the oneness. Yet this vision can be perceived only by the truly innocent. Okay, only when we know that we and others are truly innocent will we experience the peace of God. Because their hearts are pure. The innocent defend true perception instead of defending themselves against it. So defending true perception means practicing forgiveness, using miracles, overlooking the world of form, the ego's world, to see the world of spirit, to see the truth, to see the innocence that we all really are. So when we do that and we know that, our hearts are pure and we are no longer defending against God's love. Understanding the lesson of the atonement, they are without the wish to attack and therefore see truly. So it's when we awaken and we accept the atonement that we are seeing truly, and then we no longer have a wish to attack. Therefore, we no longer desire to be in this illusory world of projection and attack. This is what the Bible means when it says, when he shall appear or be perceived, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Those words just mean innocence, to see one another and ourselves as innocents, because that is the truth of what we are. The way to correct distortion is to withdraw your faith in them and invest only in what is true. More beautiful words to mean overlook the world of form, the ego world of form, to see the truth, which is spirit. You cannot make untruth true. No matter how hard we try to make this illusory world real and our ego thoughts and projections real, they are still always untrue. We cannot make it real. If you are willing to accept what is true in everything you perceive, you let it be true for you. Okay, that's what practicing forgiveness is. When we see everyone else as innocence and as pure love, we see ourselves as innocence and pure love. That is practicing forgiveness. That is how we remind ourselves and everyone else, which is one with ourselves, the truth of who and what we really are. Truth overcomes all error. And those who live in error and emptiness can never find lasting solace. Okay, so as long as we believe in the world of separation, in the ego's interpretation of the world, we will never find lasting solace. If you perceive truly, you are canceling out misperceptions in yourself and in others simultaneously. Okay, again, he's talking about practicing forgiveness. He's talking about miracles because it all happens at once. It happens simultaneously because we are all one. We're all connected. So when our mind remembers the truth and we are remembering it about everyone else, this helps our one mind to awaken every time we do that. So that's what he means by canceling out misperceptions. We do that by overlooking the world of form. Because you see them as they are, you offer them your acceptance of their truth so they can accept it for themselves. This is the healing that the miracle induces. Okay, and this is the job of the miracle worker. This is what we're doing with this course. This is what we are training ourselves to do, is to help ourselves and everyone else to wake up by overlooking these misperceptions, by overlooking what is untrue, to see the truth, which is that we are all love and we are all truly innocent.